Alright, this is a redo of the last stream. Last stream, I did not turn on the audio. So, screw this. But whatever. Oh, right. You know what? I'll just... whatever. It's fine. I don't need to do that. I don't need to set it up. This is fine for me. Okay. Now, let's see what else I need to do. I think that's all. The audio is fine and all of that. I'm just gonna load the game to where we started. Wait, not this one, not chapter 3, chapter 2. I have to do this all over again. Let's see if I can remember. If I don't remember, that's good-o. Alright. Joyful, jubilant, jumping jacks. Oh, Mr. Natsume. I'm so pleased for you. Locum student Mr. Naroda Esquire and non-locum judicial assistant Mr. Mikotoba Esquires. Now, finally, at long last, there can be proof. Proof that I'm innocent, and proof that my D is innocent. Ah, good morning, my dear fellows. Ah, Herlock Sholmes. May you drink my tippet tea and fall forever silent. I thought the tea was innocent. Okay, I still laugh at this. That's good. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came. How wonderful. Please, save your derision. I know what you're all thinking. Good morning, he says, when it's nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clearly across your faces. Nobody said or thought anything of the sort. The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day, as sleep seduced me last night, I thought. Tomorrow, once I shall not oversleep. I rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirited determination has a beauty all of its own, does it not? Oh, yes. Ah, then, I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep? I queried. Why time after time do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It's so delightful, simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Well, is that not an astute insight into the matter? Oh, yes. Upon which realization, I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a wink all night. And the results? By first light, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by fits of drowsiness. Shocking. And so the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. A good night's sleep is quite simply essential. Yes, I think most of us probably knew that already. What other presuppose I proved by experimentation? That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method. Oh. Ah, yes. And one more thing. Do you remember this? Ah! Yes, of course. It's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh, you didn't manage to. It was a laborious task as the bottle was nearly empty. But such inconveniences do not hinder Sholmes. What? I managed to confirm that it contains strychnine. So I was right. Perhaps, though, of course, such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Miss Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now, but licking the inside of the neck is not recommended. The bottle poison has been added into the courtroom. Right. Wait, who is this again? I need to think. Could I have a word? I remember. Gregson, Skelkins never skelkin, as they say. Gregson, how good of you to come. To come? There. Forget it, excuse me. Wait a minute, Inspector. Mr. Fish and Chips, come on. I don't wish to make a nuisance of myself. From the look on your face, I'd say it's someone else who you'd think is making a nuisance of himself. My dear Inspectors, please speak freely. Pretend that I'm not here. Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me. Do you have the results, Inspector, of the investigation of Mr. Shamsby's room? Not yet. Shouldn't be long now, though. No, I'm here about something else. That dead convict, actually. Oh, you mean the man from this newspaper article we discovered yesterday in Mr. Shamsby's room? A man by the name of... Yes, Selden. I went through the archives at the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that... well, it caught my eye. Something caught your eye. What, Inspector, what? I've copied out the relevant parts for you, so you can read it for yourselves. Thank you. Okay, we got that. I remember this, These documents include the details that were in the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. I'll rearrange everything in the court record so we don't have duplicate information. True. Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though? Well, you're the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? I'm just making sure things get handled in the proper fashion. Oh, Scotland Yard's working are so wonderful. Indeed, my dear fellows, and the inspector here is a shining diamond in its crown. A shining diamond in the rough, maybe. Look, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. True. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. They're Italian now, I remember. Counsel proceedings are about to resume. Make your way into the courtroom at once. Well, I shall leave you then. I'll be listening with interest from the public gallery. Not nodding off at all, certainly not. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Moustache in flood of tears personally, so the best of luck to you. Welcome, student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. Yes, Mr. Natsume. It's time, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shamspeare. This is going to be the final battle. Alright, here we go, lads. I won't really have saved Sasaki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. But it's all coming to a lead now. You can do it, Ryunosuke. You have to. Let's go. What's wrong with the camera? It's not picking up my mouth. Should I calibrate it real quick? Excuse me, though. Excuse me, lads. I need to... Give me a moment. Is that it? There we go. What? What is wrong? Is it too dark? I doubt it. Last time it's fine. Alright, whatever. What is wrong? Okay. It should be fine though. If anything. There we go. You know what? Whatever. It should be fine, I believe. Yeah. I did turn it off, yeah? I did turn that off. Okay. Whatever. Close that, fuck. Okay. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. Before the recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense, namely the victim of the case we heard here only a few days ago, and the true perpetrator of this incident is the true perpetrator. A reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing, in my opinion, my lord. However, the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy this amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores. Thank you for that backhanded consideration. A rather cold assessment from the honourable British prosecutor, I must say. So, Lord Van Zeeks, is the new witness present and ready to take the stand? Ready and waiting in the witnesses' antechamber, my lord. I just read it. Very well, bailiff. Bring the witnesses in. Alright, here we are. The two suspects. Witnesses, state your name and occupation for the court, please. William Shamspeare, my liege. For mine occupation, I can only say that I be a tragic victim to be pitied. Currently unemployed, in other words. I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. Well, no.
Not a fledgling, really. A hopeless failure who's too weak-spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose.
Also currently unemployed, in other words. What a coterie. What's coterie again? I don't even know. I didn't think I'd search for it. Mr. Shakespeare. My lord, I am thy humble servant. I'm afraid that you are no longer merely the victim in this affair. The possibility has been raised that you are in fact the assailant, intent on taking the life of our young fellow lodger. Of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you. I would for naught else, my lord. And Miss Green.
Yes?
Yes, you are aware of the reason you have been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume?
Yes, the officer did explain. He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon.
And do you accept the charge, Miss Green?
I don't know anything about any poisoning. And I don't know anything about this man.
Come, lady, die to live. Verily, I know not thy prickly, pea-pigmented personage. Very well, let us proceed with the matter at hand. That being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair.
It's all very strange indeed. Why would you suspect me? I barely ever go to the East End anyways. It so happens that I passed by the neighborhood 6 days ago, that's all. And on the night that this man was poisoned, I was still in hospital, fighting for my life.
Yes, having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Garadeb household. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days.
I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife through no fault of my own, and now I'm under suspicion. What other relevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing.
Your energies may be better spent worrying about random knife attacks, I feel, Miss Green. At this point in time, all that appears to connect you with Mr. Shakespeare's lodging is the Briar Road incidents of 6 days ago. That's why. We would like you to testify formally now about what exactly happened.
Oh, no! The incident 6 days ago? You mean you want me to relive that awful incident? I mean, accident?
Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shakespeare. But what happened 6 days ago? There's nothing to do with me being poisoned. Let us proceed, then. The witnesses will present their formal testimony to the court on the subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th of February. All right, let's go. I feel like it's the first time I'm playing this. It's not, and I'm just redoing it because I fucking messed up last time. I don't need to read it. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna read it.
It's 6 days ago, about 5 p.m. I was walking along the snow when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, it happened to just be outside the house where the men in this case have their lodgings.
I was at the tavern on the eve of which thou speakest, for I had bespoke my supper.
It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had little matter to attend to, that's all. Anyway, I was admitted straight to the hospital, so I knew nothing about all this business.
Okay, let's see if I still remember. Ooh, I'm nervous. What if I forget? You know what? Whatever. Here's the second incident inside a week as what I believe to be aptly described as the haunted lodgings. One can only presume this is a most unfortunate coincidence. Meanwhile, you say you were not in your room, Mr. Shakespeare. 'Twas the following morn, when did I awaken, that I learned of the dire events. Mary, what a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine. When Sasaki-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. Suspected there is nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance. It's true, it does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance. I'm not sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here. I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it. Alright, baby. Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses if you wish. Yes, my lord. Right, cross-examination, I get to have a snack. For some reason, I feel numb in these sessions. Okay. Let me check out the court record real quick. Shut the fuck up, baby. No, I only got in a moment. For real. Oh yeah, I remember. Hold it! I'm stressed out. I don't usually read these as much. I'm just gonna leave it. I just need to find the letter. The anything. I'm sorry. There's a second take. Hold it! Actually, no, let's ask a specific. I need to ask this one specifically. Yeah. There we go. What was that? Yeah, we remember that incident, eh? The information.
What does that matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan.
Oh yeah, screw you, motherfucker. I got ya. It has to do everything with Duncan. Mr. Shamspear, do you have something to share with the court? To be or not to be? That is the question. Pray forgive me, the great Bardsworth springeth from within me with ne'er a thought. Don't tell me it's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps. Well, nay, sire, 'twas nothing at all. Presumably, you know the name, though. Miss Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you were both lodgers in the same house. I would it were so, but sadly nay. I got water. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me. You haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours. Miss Green?
Me, my lord? Have I done something wrong?
The card that was mentioned before containing the note, do you have it upon you in your person?
I do, yes. I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really.
Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please. Let's go. Here we go. Of course. That's what links Mr. Shamspear and Miss Green. It's Duncan Ross. Now continue with your testimony, please, Miss Green. Fuck. Ah! Wait, I can skip. Oh, thank God. Wait, I can't. Shit. Wait, I can. I was scared for a second there. Little matter to attend to, because this letter, if anything. I remember this one. It's empty! Why in the world is this letter empty? It's a fake, I tell ya. It's a fake. Objection! Oh, fuck. It's the wrong one. Fuck. Okay, don't worry. I can do this. I remember. I remember. ask him. Let's ask this one, yeah? Let's ask this one. I think it's this one. Let's have you say which one. What do you mean, Lord Van Zeeks? Fine dining. Yeah, he's poor. He's poor. Yeah. You expect grubbery in the local vicinity, more probably means. Okay. The fact that I roll dice. Yeah, I can present evidence from here. Oh wait, I can eat my snack now. Oh, while it's time, we're still at Mr. Shamspeare. Messiah. I was very questioning this not okay that you visit the shop salad. I'll take a reading. Oh, we hope up, right? Well, I'll present the court with evidence.
Take that!
Hey? Fuck. Am I doing this right? Fuck. Right, what was it? Dude, I can't remember. What's a Horatio?
Hold it!
Yeah, there we go. I could have sworn it's that letter, if anything. Yeah.
Take that!
What? What? You know, I'm saving here now. Go blimey. What? What did I do last time? I can't remember now. I got the letter. I need to think again now. What am I doing?
Hold it!
Yes, you didn't reckon. Oh, I didn't say. That means I did get a right objection. What was it? What was it? To meet with someone who claims to have information about Duncan Ross. What was it? Yeah, I'm saving here, if anything. And yet, in spite of that, you can claim that I was the culprit. But you certainly haven't produced any evidence to support your good claim, right? I will point out here that the jury's next decision will be final. Well, yeah. Okay. I think I can do this somehow. Like, I can't read the letter, if anything. Oh, right. I forgot. how silly of me. There we go. How silly of me, I forgot. Oh. Alright, I'm just gonna save around here. I'll go to the third one. You know, don't worry about it.
Hold it!
I didn't inspect it. I thought that's my bad. Present evidence time. I'm confident this time. Alright, here we are.
Take that!
There we go. I believe this card reveals the answer. Good lord, Miss Green's card, you mean? That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shamsper, your actions on afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly described in this note.
Oh,
Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shamsper?
well... Excuse me, can I say something?
Yes, Miss Green.
That card was delivered to me. It doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it?
Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely...
My lord, may I?
May you what, Miss Green?
I'd like to make something very clear about that card.
Oh, she's trying to hide it. Now I think about it. She's trying to hide her crimes here. It's evidence against her. Very well, then. You may amend your testimony to include the details about the peculiar note.
This note was delivered to me in my address. It has nothing to do with the man next to me.
Hold it!
Oh, wait, what fuck? I think you said you received it the day before the incident, didn't you?
That's right.
It appears to be no indication of the sender's name or address in the envelope.
It was my letterbox, that's all I know, I'm afraid. I've no idea who sent it.
I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Who is this Duncan Ross, please?
A friend of mine, he's attended the same art school as I do. Passed away in a tragic incident a month ago, though. I wasn't sure what was become of it. Fuck, I don't want to read this. Please help me. I'm stuck in this loop.
Let me try. Well, on her way here, she was stabbed in the back. As my learned everybody hopefully remembers. Ah, yes, of course. She never made it to the meeting. That's the thing, right? She never made it to the meeting. Alright, let's fucking do this, man. Alright, I'm gonna present here because this was found in his room.
Objection!
There we go. Fuck. The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago, this note was delivered to your address. Can I pause recording? I can't. Whatever. And upon carrying out the instructions in the note, you found yourself in hospital.
Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that's happened to me.
Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is.
What do you mean?
Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope.
Oh, is it?
And so it happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received.
Where did you find that?
In Mr. Shamspeare's room.
In my room.
My room? Excuse me. Mr. Shamspeare, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere?
Well...
Your actions that afternoon followed the instructions in the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. One lie leads to more lies. We'll open the truth, as I say. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspeare. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green.
Ah, what did I do?
As this torn off end of the envelope proves, the note was originally in Mr. Shamspeare's room. So how is it that it came to be in your possession?
I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist after all.
Lies! That's not... Oh, are we supposed to, like, you know, if to hide our crimes by saying, I'm just a fledgling artist? It's just an old way of saying, it's just a prank, bro. I don't like you, buddy. There's only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspeare's room and stole it. Oh, what are you looking at now? She's avoiding eye contact. For sure. You did what? Sorry, thou hast what? You broke, I mean thou where? In my room? Excuse me, I'm not doing Shamspeare so well tonight. Gosh. Alright, let me use the bathroom. Real quick. I'll remember this timestamp and I'll remove it myself, yeah? Before editing. Excuse me. Oh, right, there we go. Boom. What on earth do you want with me? That's right. That's good. That's a good way for Shamspeare. It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again. Miss Green. Yep, she has been lying to the court, isn't it? She's lying. She's avoiding eye contact. Well, you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you have endured in recent events. Anyone found to be giving false testimony in this court of law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind. Oh, a fledgling artist.
Yes, I know. I'm just a fledgling artist, I can't lie.
It's just a prank, bro. It's a new way. Very well then, witnesses, you will give formal testimony again now on the subject of the curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claimed to have received. Right. Anomaly of the note. I do remember now, 'twas a week ago, pre-adventure. Per-adventure, that note was delivered unto me. On the day, writ therein, I did tarry a long hour at the Slug and Salad. Salad. Let's go. Yet nobody came. Thereafter, on the evening I shared the company of the Japanese fellow, I did see the note had vanished.
I don't know what you mean. You think I snuck into this man's room, do you? Why would I? I can point out the villain here. And as for that torn off piece of the envelope, I don't know anything about it.
Now they're just fighting each other. They're both lying. Who is to believe now? You now claim to have received this late letter, do you, Mr. Shamspeare? Faith, 'tis so, my lord. Water. And I would swear to have set it upon the table in my humble lodging. Yet 'tis clear to me now that since I returned from the tavern that night, I have not laid eyes upon it. Well, that being the case, young lady, it would appear that your testimony was...
A lie? Is that what you think? How unfair of you to think that I'm the one lying.
I beg your pardon?
I'm just a fledgling artist.
Shut the fuck up with your fledgling artist. As one of my friends, well, he's not really my friend, but I call him my friend because he's been frequenting my stream. Andy Arkwood, was it? Says a lame artist and a fake Shakespeare or something like that along those lines.
I said I'm a fledgling artist, don't lie.
Shut the fuck up, you lie.
That note was delivered to me at my address besides. We all know who the liar around here is.
If that's true, Miss Green, how do you explain the facts? This part of the envelope was, without question, found in Mr. Shams's room. Now she avoids eye contact after asking the question.
I don't see why I should explain.
See? She knows something. That's for sure, for sure. Sorry.
I'm a fledgling artist.
Enough with your fledgling artist, lady.
My job here is to just to say what happened, that's all. It's your job to give the explanation and the proofs. You, the fledgling lawyer.
I hate this lady. In some ways, more than once. I didn't hate her this much before. The fledgling will do his best, indeed. Evidently, my learned friend's cross-examination is our only hope of learning the truth. And now Van Zieks is in my side. Yeah, I remember this. Well, counsel, I'm ready, my lord. Very well, then. The defense will now proceed with the cross-examination of the witnesses.
Miss Green clearly did break into Mr. Shams's room. There can be no question of that. And that's how she acquired the note.
Yes, two facts are starting to lead me to a possible explanation for all this. And it's not a pretty one. Oh, right, I forgot to turn off my speaker. Just for a little bit, lads. Let me turn this off. Haha, that's the sound of my speaker, lads. Alright. Midstream. Midstream. I do remember now. 'Twas a week ago. Oh, I don't have to read anymore. When I don't have to read anymore, all I can do now is just snack on. Hell yeah, snack on. Cross-examinations are the best because they have drama, thinking, and snack. The die.
Hold it!
No, shut the fuck up. Huh. The blame game is playing now. Among Us. So is this dance? There. They're both somewhat involved in the arts, I would say. Right, the scene. Interject with a clever remark. No, we don't do that. What? Okay, let me save it. Excuse me. I want to lose my life here. Right. I might make another mistake. Seeing as if that I don't remember anything. I do remember now. It was a week ago. Pre-adventure. Alright, let's go ask random stuff here. Nay, sire, noted literature. Not literature. Okay. I read that. I got that, actually.
Hold it!
I need to check this out. So even after weighing an hour, nobody appeared. On their side, let me check. Oh my god. Well, it seems that I have eaten so many calories today. A lot of calories. Screw that, whatever. In truth, thou hast nobody refuted call. Nothing returned him now. Clean water and mine and there's something in the bread. It's a great companions. What do you mean? Flies, sire. Flies. Good lord. In the name of Beelzebub, where were they? Fairies, perchance. Midsummer Night's Dream taught me. Blah blah blah. It's the thing, this one. this note was actually delivered to Mr. Champy about 1 week ago. Oh, does it? For some reason it ended up in your possession. I can't think of any way that could have happened except for you breaking into Mr. Champy's lodging. But for what reason you've done that? I won't deny Mr. possession of the logic. Unless you have a way. Proceed in nothing meaningless.
Sprain could only happen. And yet there's not a obvious reason why she would have done such a thing.
How did Reen break into the lodgings then?
Yes.
We're close now, I can feel it. We're close to a big tree. Should I try this evidence? I can't remember really. Holy moly.
Objection!
There we go. Yeah, I did. Haha, I did it. Let's go. Yesterday at the hospital, we saw you with this bottle. And though the contents split during the course of our meeting, a small quantity remained. According to defense's independent analysis, Mr. Sholmes' chemistry said, the liquid that was still in the bottle was identified as strychnine. What? Strychnine? The very same poison that afflicted Mr. Shamspeare? Miss Green, you broke into this man's lodgings for one reason and one reason alone. To cover the end of the pipe that feeds the gas lamp in Mr. Shamspeare's room with poison. Can this be? You broke into my room to... It seems incredible to the court. But the remaining clues, there is only one logical conclusion that we can reach. The person who attempted to take Mr. Shamspeare's life with poison was you, Miss Olive Green. It's all coming together. She has the strychnine, and for some reason, in truth, it's Mr. Shamspeare who has the letter. It's all coming together now. Two lies, and two evidence. What's about to happen to this? Order. Counsel, are you seriously suggesting this woman put poison on the end of the gas pipe with intent to kill? Yes, my lord. There's no other way to explain the facts. But if Miss Green did indeed set this odious trap 6 days ago, and the victim had put his mouth on the pipe that very evening as suspected, the attempted murder would have happened 6 days ago, surely. Well, that's a very good point. Perhaps not, my lord. I beg your pardon. There was a significant police presence in that area that evening. On account of the incident on Briar Road, local residents were being interviewed throughout the night as part of the ongoing inquiry. A circumspect criminal would likely have chosen not to carry out any wrongdoing at the time. Lord Fancies.
And of course, the following morning there was more activity at Mr. Shamspeare's address.
More activity? Yes. You mean his fellow lodger, Mr. Natsume, being arrested on suspicion of murder?
That's right. And as the defense has already proposed, Mr. Shamspeare was meddling with the gas in the pipe for a very sinister reason himself. To cause the gas stove in Mr. Natsume's room to go out, thereby asphyxiating the occupant.
But once Mr. Natsume had been arrested, his room was under constant surveillance by the police. In the circumstances, Mr. Shamspeare had no reason to blow air into the gas pipe. His intended victim being in a prison cell, with the reason to tamper with the gas removed, the poison on the pipe lay dormant.
And then 3 days ago now, the situation changed again.
Right. Mr. Natsume's trial, which took place here at the Old Bailey, came to an end. The trial which the man stood accused of stabbing Miss Green in the back was duly acquitted. That resulted in Mr. Natsume's returning to his lodgings for the first time in 2 days. And that very night his gas stove mysteriously went out, and Mr. Shamspeare was mysteriously poisoned. In conclusion, the poison that was present on the mouth of the gas pipe had been put there in the victim's room for 4 days earlier.
Mary!
Yeah. No, that was kind of bad. It's not too bad for me, though. How should I go? Who should I go about? Whatever. With that new understanding, it becomes clear that this letter was all part of the plan.
What plan?
The court will recall that the note gave instructions to visit the Slug and Salad at 5 o'clock, and that the recipient should tell nobody else. The reason for those instructions are now clear. To ensure that the lodger would not be at home at the stated time.
To make sure I wasn't home?
Exactly. While you were out, Miss Green could safely slip into your room, knowing that she wouldn't be disturbed.
You mean to say that letter
Was written by Miss Green, yes. And in order to cover her tracks, she took it away with her when she left. Just after she smeared poison over the mouth of the gas pipe in your room.
Outrage! Outrage, I say!
Order, order! What do you have to say for yourself, witness? Just who are you? Why did you try to kill me?
Miss Green's motive should be obvious. It's all tied up with someone whose name we've heard several times already during the course of this trial. So that's what's behind all this.
You will share your apparent understanding with the court, please, counsel. Which person behind this woman's motive to attack the victim's life?
It's definitely Duncan Ross.
Take that!
Duncan Ross?
That's right. Before the defendant, Mr. Natsume took up residence in the lodgings at Mr. Garridub's. Somebody else was renting the room. Mr. Duncan Ross. I knew I'd heard the same name somewhere else. It was all over the papers a month ago. When the man died in strange circumstances at the haunted lodgings.
That does ring a vague. Oh, of course, yes, I remember now. The young man they claimed was strangled by the convict's curse or some such.
Sadly, my lord, it wasn't a curse of any kind, nor was it an accident. The man died as a result of Mr. Shamspeare blowing into the gas pipe and causing gas to leak into the room. It was murder, plain and simple.
Ah! Well, what do you know? The world is so unfair. Curses, curious deaths. That's all people care about. If it's an interesting story, they want to know. It doesn't cross their minds that real people are involved. And once they're bored, just 1 month later, once the story lost its appeal, everyone's forgotten him. You mean you, Duncan, was...
Mr. Ross was Miss Green's fiancé.
Fiancé?
You may not have known until now who Miss Green really is, Mr. Shakespeare. But she's known exactly who you are. She's known exactly who you are all along. Because you're her sworn enemy. The murderer who took the life of the man she has to marry. She was to marry.
Mary!
Excuse me.
Ooh.
Miss Green, is it not the case that in order to exact revenge on Mr. Shamspeare, you smeared poison over the end of the gas pipe? Everyone's starting to believe now.
This is all quite extraordinary. Am I correct in my understanding that you now accuse both parties, counsel, each on different counts of murder,
Yes, my lord, that's correct.
Objection!
Inhaling so deeply, it appears that my fledgling learned friend has taken in a lungful of dubious gas that caused his judgment to be clouded. What? Why would Mr. Shamspeare have wanted to kill these lodgers, as you say? You have completely failed to provide a motive to substantiate your accusation against the man. Yes, that's right, Mr. Shamspeare, Mr. Reaper, my liege. I have been slighted. 'Tis lies, all lies. I deny every utterance.
And you'll have to forgive me, Mr. Naruhodo, sir. But I don't intend to admit to anything either.
Miss Green.
I'm sure you'll think I'm being very rude, but I'm not going to be sent to the gallows for the likes of this scoundrel.
But you broke into the man's room. If you didn't do that to smear poison on the pipe, what was your reason? And she's gonna look away. There we go.
I thought I'd have a look around, that's all.
Sorry.
You're right, I suspected him. So I thought perhaps I might find some evidence or something in his room. Evidence that it was him who took Duncan's life.
Oh vileness, oh villainy, oh tyranny, oh roundity of woman. But in any case, whenever I leave my room, I do turn the key in the lock.
That whole place is falling apart. The locks on the doors are no different. Duncan showed me once how to unlock the door with some terps and a piece of wire.
Oh awfulness, oh artfulness, oh tyranny, oh profanity of woman. We will consider your trespassing on some future occasion, but for now, tell the court what you found, what evidence your search revealed.
Well, I spotted the note that I'd sent him flying, lying on the floor. When I went to pick it up, I noticed something. One of the floorboards was loose, and underneath it I discovered a secret hiding place.
Eh? Yes, we all discovered that hiding place.
Inside we found a newspaper cutting, a photograph, and an empty tin box. Ah, yes. Well, the thing is, when I found it, the box wasn't empty.
What? There was something in it?
Yes.
She found it. Look, it's the key.
This rather nice key.
Ah! What are you doing with that? What the?
Every ounce of color has drained from his face.
Give it here! Give it to me now! It's mine! I inherited it! What was that, witness? What did you just say? You inherited it? No, What's all this about? And he inherited that key?
It was obviously important to you, since you'd gone to such lengths to hide it, so I took it. I don't know what's it for, but you took something precious from me, so I took something precious from you. So what if it means you can't open something now? I don't care.
Give it back this minute! Give it to me! Calm yourself, witness. So, Mr. Shamspeare has tried, and in one case succeeded, to take the life of 2 lodgers now. Yes, his motive for doing so is the key to everything that's happened. It's true that there appears to be no motive to support the accusation against Mr. Shamspeare at first. I'm feeling numb now, fuck. But considering everything we now know, I think there is actually something that could explain it. What? Let's go. I need to recall every piece of evidence at our disposal. Because I'm sure that I just caught a glimpse of the link that runs through all these events. In that case, counsel, I must demand that you present evidence to the court in support of your claim. What is it that you can say explain the motivation for some time? Fuck. I'm getting numb. Okay. Scotland Yard's files about to be convicted. Criminal supplement includes newspaper article about him dying of illness. Before I read this again, yeah? Let me read this again, yeah? do believe is this. Present it.
Take that!
I don't care about the calories right now, even though I'm trying to lose weight. I just need to eat something. I need some sugar. I'm feeling a bit numb. Ow. Oh. God, blimey. Excuse me, Dad. Oh.
That's an official police report, is it not?
Yes, Selden file. How did you get hold of that?
Selden?
Because I'm doing something. Whatever. The now sadly deceased Mr. Ross and the defendant, Mr. Natsume, have only one thing linking them. The fact that they had lodgings in the same room.
Well, yes, we know this. Certainly.
The room that was formerly occupied by Selden. Until, that is, he was arrested by Scotland Yard for his involvement in multiple burglaries.
I see.
And it so that happens that the convict Selden left behind one very substantial mystery when he died. Some £1,000 worth of loot that he stole, which as yet remains to be found.
Oh, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now. It's written in his file here.
That's £1,000 lost en route to hell. That was how the papers summed it up. And it seems that one particular fellow inmate was with the convict in his final moments. It's not hard to imagine Selden entrusting that inmate with his most closely guarded secret. The location of the stolen loot, and perhaps the key to unlock whatever container the valuables were in.
You mean this key is...
Mr. Shamspeare, it was you, wasn't it? You were at the capital offender's side when he died, were you not?
What are you talking about? 'Tis a false charge, I tell you! A false charge!
The name of the inmate who was in this with Selden at his death isn't noted in his file. The simple telegram to the prison where he died would quickly tell us how false the charge really is.
But even if it's true, why would the men be so intent on killing every subsequent occupant of the convict's lodgings?
There is only one explanation for that, my lord. It was in that... Excuse me! Oh, in that very room that Selden hid his loot. So it all comes out. Yes, and having established that, all of that Mr. Shamsu's subsequent actions start to make perfect sense. When he was let out of prison following Selden's death, he made immediately for Mr. Garadeb's lodging in the hope of renting Selden's old room. However, the retired army man was unable to offer him the accommodation of his choice, because Selden's old room had already been let to somebody else, Mr. Duncan Ross. Which is why Mr. Shamspeare subsequently devised his gas-based plot to kill the occupant of the room. And when he was successful, he presumably intended to inquire about switching into the newly vacant room. However, a certain jittery someone had been beaten to him to it.
Mr. Susuke Natsume, the defendant of this case, no less.
You decided to use the ploy with the gas again, didn't you, Mr. Shamspeare? This time to oust Mr. Natsume. All for one simple and avaricious reason: to get your hands on the £1,000 of loot left behind by the dead convict. Fuck, I failed that one, but whatever. It's so hard to do him. I could do, what was that man's name?
That rich Irish dude, I could do him. But this looks like I'm gonna snuff it. Listen, oh fuck. Listen, I want you to have me loot. Anything. To stop the coppers getting their mitts on it. There we go, that's the voice. I adjusted a bit. It's hidden in the room where I was lodging when they got me. Here, this is the key to it. Take it. Always stay one step ahead, mate. See you in hell. I guess. Shakespeare. No, I'm so numb now. I'm sorry. Whew, gosh.
Mine.
What did you say?
It's mine. That loot is mine.
Mr. Shakespeare.
It's all lies. I don't accept any of it. Why should I? After all, you don't have a shred of evidence. You can't prove I killed that fellow, forsooth. I'm the victim here, remember? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen?
He's gone cuckoo.
If I don't admit to it, there's nothing you can do. You can't arrest me. For the time being, anyways. Verily, you can't arrest a victim, can you? Isn't that right, ladies and gentlemen? I'm so close. I just need a few more hours. I swore to myself that I'd get my hands on it, and I can almost taste it now. Do you really think I'd just give up?
There's no question in my mind now. This man is guilty through and through.
But it seems so utterly intoxicated by the idea of that loot. I'm afraid that, however you have a hard you press him, he'll never admit to what he's done, Mr. Naruto.
There is a way.
Pardon?
There's one way I can finish him.
No.
He's already committed the most heinous crimes to get his hands on that loot. Which means all we need to do is find it first. A fine plan, were it not for the fact that the police thoroughly searched the room following the death of Mr. Ross. If it's there at all, it must be very well hidden indeed. Without conclusive evidence, I certainly cannot rule.
If only there was some way we could find the convict's loot quickly.
This is the final piece in this complex puzzle. I think we might have it in our possessions already. Or rather, I think we may well have something that can help us find this loot is hidden. Where this loot is hidden. My lord!
Yes, counsel?
The defense would like to make a proposal about how to find the late convict's hidden loot. I believe we are already in possession of something that could give us a clue as to its whereabouts. It's our last chance. It has to be worth a gamble. Besides, we've used the same technique once already, and it's definitely paid off then.
Very well, counsel. Let the court hear your idea. What do you propose we can use in order to locate the hiding place of a deceased convict's hall?
Take that!
If I'm not mistaken, those are Mr. Shakespeare handprints on the wall of his lodgings.
That's right, my lord. Exposed as a result of the defense's independent investigation of the scene.
Based on a wonderful new discovery in the field of forensic science by the great detective Mr. Sholmes. A great detective? Is that some kind of joke? Do you really think I'm going to be daunted by a man with such a ridiculous title? I should think that the great bard ought to recognize such a title when he hears one, Mr. Shakespeare. Perhaps we should compete for the honor of most ridiculous title. Ah! 'Tis Sherlock Sholmes!
What are you doing here? They're so dissimilar in many ways than one in terms of voice, because I'm the only one voicing them.
What are you doing here, great detective? Your usual haunts
are the filthy back streets of the capital, are they not?
Ah, Mr. Reaper. It's been too long. And I see your complexion has worsened since then, since last we met.
Mr. Sholmes, he does know Lord Van Zieks then. Well enough to say something like that in any case. Mr. Sholmes, though you may be heralded as a great detective by the population at large, that does not give you the right to come and go in my courtroom as you see fit.
If I may, my lord, Mr. Sholmes' newly developed scientific method has helped us uncover vital clues in this case already.
Clues, you say?
I call them skin prints, my lord. My method identifies every location touched by an individual under scrutiny. It's the method by which we were able to ascertain this gentleman's gas pipe activities.
Oh,
You only need a small sample of something the individual has previously touched to make an indicator solution. In your case, sir, I used the teacup you had been holding in elementary. So now, Mr. Naruhodo,
Ah, yes.
I can't do it anymore. What am I to use as sample to make the indicator solution this time?
Thank you for offering your help, Mr. Sholmes. He was arrested. He was living in what is now Mr. Soseki-san's room. We need a sample to locate Selden's loot that's hidden in his old room.
It's not evidence, it's definitely a person, but I can't remember who.
We will need something of Selden in order to create the indicator solution to find his loot. And something the convict owned happens to be in the possession of somebody listed in the court record.
Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, your powers of reasoning appears to be on the up. So, which particular person do you have in mind? From whom can we obtain a possession of late convict Selden to create the indicator solution? Alright, it's this girl here.
Take that!
Miss Green,
me? What do you want from me?
the key around your neck, if you please.
Sorry.
That key belonged to Selden. There will be remnants of secretions from the man's skin on its surface that we can use.
Very true.
That is the sample we need. Using it, we can create the indicator solution required for Mr. Sholmes' skin print seeker. And find exactly what Selden touched in the room that he used to rent.
Mr. Shamspeare, as one great to another, I assure you, if the late convict's hole is hidden somewhere in his former lodgings, I shall uncover it in no more than 30 minutes.
So, Mr. Shamspeare, the truth is well within our grasp now, and as such, you will never get your hands on Selden's stolen wealth.
Is that the case? I'll gladly let Mr. Sholmes have this key.
No! Give it to me! The detective shan't have it!
It's over, Mr. Shamspeare.
No! No!
You're out of options now. There's only one thing left for you to do. Admit your guilt.
Whoa! Oh, shameful spear! Despair! Be thy name!
Oh, poor Shamspeare, he died just like that. We lost him, lads.
I never intended to kill the man. I just wanted to drive him out of the room, that's all.
So you'd have time to find the convict's haul of stolen goods. Yet after you'd killed the young man, you still didn't move into the room.
I asked the landlord, of course. I pleaded with him, but he refused.
Why?
I was 3 months behind with rent. For one thing,
Mr. Garrett really has had a lot to put up with. and he had the gas repair work done immediately afterwards, putting the new room out of action for a while. And then this Japanese man swooped in at just the right moment to sign the new lease.
Poor Mr. Natsume. What unfortunate timing.
And then 5 days ago, after the incident on Briar Road when the Japanese fellow got himself arrested, I thought I'd finally have my chance. But it wasn't to be. No, the scene was sealed off and guarded by the police night and day.
And if I remember rightly, Mr. Shum spent the whole day in there reading books.
I couldn't even enter the room, let alone search for the loot. Which is why on the day Mr. Natsume was acquitted and returned to his room, you once again tried your trick of blowing air into the gas pipe that feeds the stove in his room. Unbeknownst to you, however, that action would lead you into a deadly trap. Oh, I didn't read that.
William Shakespeare, how does it go? To be or not to be? That is the question.
From Shakespeare's Hamlet, Act 1, Act 3, Scene 1.
Well then, let me tell you, in your case, it's not to be. That is the answer. You deserve to die for what you've done.
Well, he's dead. He's going to the gallows with him. To the gallows with him.
At first, I really did think it was just a terrible accident. I'll never forget our conversation the night before Duncan died.
The gas supply in my new lodgings are a complete disaster, you know, Olive.
The gas supply?
Yes. The stove always seems to go out in the middle of the night for some reason.
That's no joke.
They say it's the convict's curse.
Oh, Duncan, please don't stay there. I don't care how cheap it is.
All right then, if that's important to you, I'll start looking for a new place. There are spare rooms at...
There's spare rooms in my house. Why don't you leave that horrible room tonight?
No, I better not. We said we'd wait until we'd graduated before we told our parents, remember?
But that was the last time we ever spoke. That very night he fell victim to the gas. If only I'd known it was going to happen, I'd have insisted he left that horrible room that instant. But instead, all I've been left with is bitter regret. I stopped going to school, but something kept drawing me back to the house on Briar Road. I saw a stooped Eastern-looking man with a mustache coming out of the house one day when I was there. He walked up the road, grubberies for some food, so I followed him and sat myself down next to him. He had some watery-looking soup and started to pick a quarrel with the publican.
That place is cursed, I tell you. Cursed. The ghost of the convict who used to live there is trying to suffocate me. I wake up in the middle of the night freezing to death because the stove has gone out. The room is full of gas and I can hardly breathe. But the pipes have been checked. No problem there. It's like I'm the problem. That's what they're thinking.
But how could that be?
Oh, my noise.
Duncan had gone. Duncan was gone. And now this man had almost suffered the same fate. Could it really be a curse?
Ah, my noise. What the fuck?
Then I remembered. A rumor I'd heard about how the gas companies go around investigating the gas installations.
A rumor? Oh, you mean...
Yes, everybody's heard the stories, it seems, about how they go around checking the pipes.
How anything connected to the gas can be extinguished by blowing air into the pipework. Oof.
That's when it started. A little flicker of no doubt at the back of my mind. That just wouldn't go away. Was it really an accident, though? Once I'd had the idea, it wouldn't leave me alone. It plagued me day and night. So I bought this at one of the black markets in the East End.
A black market?
I'd never been. I just heard people talk about them, and you really can buy anything you can think of there. In some ways, being able to get my hands on this so easily made me even more determined. I had to find out one way or another. Was Duncan's death an accident or was it murder?
And your chosen method for establishing the truth was simple but highly effective. Smear poison on the gas you suspected the man of tampering with and wait. If Mr. Shamspeare was innocent, nothing would come out of what you said you'd done. But if he was guilty, he would pay dearly for his crime. He would pay for his crimes dearly.
I found out the name of the man I suspected, William Shamspeare. And then I wrote him this little note. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th.
Excuse me. Oh. Okay.
Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It's a matter of utmost importance.
Him going to the Slug and Salad already means he's guilty. You don't have to do anything though.
If he had done it, I knew that would worry him enough, so he'd be sure to go.
Basically, the poison there's more to that. The poison was just revenge.
So I waited to see if it worked.
And of course, Mr. Shamspeare followed the instructions of the letter. Basically, it was like a rat trying to eat cheese or something.
I worked out where the gas pipe was straight away. So I smeared a good amount of the poison I thought all around the mouth of the pipe. All the time praying that the devil's work wouldn't be done, and that it was all just some wild fantasy. Actually, no. All the time praying that was the devil's work would be done, and that was the culprit would get his just desserts.
Huh. Ooh. Oh, blimey, man. Ah, gosh. Yep, that's the end of the case. "3 days ago, when you were first stood in the dock before me, this whole affair seemed relatively straightforward. Yes, my lord. I certainly never imagined the depths of depravity that we should subsequently find out by lurking behind the scenes. It's been a long road, my Nipponese friend." Wait, is it this? No, it's not like that. Yeah, okay, there we go. My Nipponese friend. Oh, yes. And one I certainly didn't envisage walking with you. Nevertheless, together we have reached the light at the end of the tunnel, as it were. Miss Green,
Yes, my lord.
you will be henceforth be stripped of your freedom as punishment for the attempted murder of Mr. William Shamspeare.
Yes, I know.
And you, Mr. Shamspeare, will be tried for the murder of Mr. Duncan Ross in cold blood, and the subsequent attempted murder of Mr. Saseki Natsume, here present. I ruined that. Okay. No, I don't think I can, but we'll see.
Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes.
yesterday at the hospital, when you and your friend stopped me from
From ending your life by drinking what was left in the poison bottle.
wasn't myself. I can't even really remember what was going through my mind. To be or not to be, I suppose. That's a question that's so hard to answer, it seems.
Well, personally, I'm glad for your being here, Miss Green.
Oh,
And I'd like to believe that it's a blessing Mr. Shamspeare didn't die when he ingested the poison. For your sake, at the very least.
because of you, I chose life, not death. And now you've made the truth come out at last.
Ugh.
Really, I can't thank you enough. Oh, Miss Green.
Mr. Suseki Natsume? Yes, my lord. The court declares that you are exonerated from all blame in this matter. Accordingly, I would call upon the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to present a verdict of not guilty. We're all in five. We are all in... Excuse me. We are in full agreement, my lord. In that case, I hereby declare the defendant not guilty. Whew, there we go. This is a re-record. Oh my gosh. I'm tired now. But I have to edit this a little bit. Just a little bit. Maybe. We'll see. Court is adjourned. Sorry, then. Okay. Oh, I did start. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I don't want to read that. Oh, yes. Yes. At last. Divine justice duly done. Divine justice? My dear fellow, if there were any divine justice in this world, you would shave that mustache. No, this has nothing to do with my mustache.
Some say that luxuriant moustache is a sign of physical prowess, Mr. Sholmes.
Look comes to Mr. Narrow Esquire. Once again, you saved me from doom. I'm very happy to have been able to help, Mr. Natsume. Congratulations on your acquittal. Your second in almost as many days. At first, I was first acquitted with and gained affection for English literature whilst in our great homeland and empire. Excuse me, I need to adjust my mic real quick. I want to just adjust it. Just like that, yeah, that should be good. And then by twist of fate, I was brought to the land that bore the fruit of that literature. Only the city of bricks and mortar become my prison. Try as I might, I never found my feet here. In the end, I confined myself to my room and live life through friendly old books. How come everyone else has a British accent? Like Naruhodo and Sato had a British accent, but not Mr. Natsume? Because I can tell by the words he's speaking, he doesn't have an accent. He has a Japanese accent.
You've had such a difficult time, haven't you?
Ah, but a week ago now, I dragged you out of that dark and dingy room of yours, did I not? You did. And I've seen more of the life in this week than in all my years to date. And for the first time, I feel I've begun to see the true face of the English that's so far been hiding from me behind the wall of fog. My dear fellow, there is nothing special about the true face of the English, as you put it. Wheresoever one goes in the world, humans are human. There are few genuine differences. Yes, I think you are right. I finally started to see that, and I've come to understand something. I've looked up why I was attracted to the English literature. In the first place, it made me see that whatever our nationality, we humans all have the same hopes and fears. We're all just doing our best to live. Well said. I've come to feel the same way. I've made my decision too. I'm going to cut short my study tour here and return to Japan. What?
Just when we become friends here in England, What a terrible shame.
Oh, I know. That does tug at my heartstrings. It really does. But I decided I like to take everything I've learned here in Britain and write something of my own. A novel of the sorts, I suppose.
Oh my, you'll be creating your own literature. Mr. Natsume, how wonderful.
Oh, well, no. I mean, I won't presume to call it literature.
Why not? When that is precisely the definition, Mr. Mustache.
I suppose you're right, yes. It will, in a way, be literature. But as of now, all I know is that I like to try my hand at writing. I have no delusions of grandeur.
I, for one, would love to read your work.
Well, all things considered, it may be for the best. After all, you have once again emerged victorious. Victoria, haha. From a battle with the Reaper.
That's very true.
And there is no salvation for a person in the dock when the Reaper is the prosecutor.
He's gonna die, man. The desire to return post-haste to be perceived safety of your homeland is one I quite understand.
My goodness, yes. Faced with such terrifying prospect. Nobody would consider that cowardly, I'm sure. I'm quite sure.
But that's not why I'm leaving. I'm in it. Objection!
And that was the case we found ourselves embroiled in 6 months ago. Soseki-san did indeed return to Japan and submitted a report about both cases to the government. It was on reading that report that Professor Mikotoba was prompted to visit the scholar. And barely any time later, Susato-san was given the news that she must return to Japan as well. On the back of a telegram stating falsely that her father had fallen gravely ill. The only possible explanation that comes to mind is that what happened after the trial on the following day, the day we uncovered the loot hidden by the now deceased convict in his former lodgings. Ugh. One more scene, it seems.
Oh, well done, Mr. Sholmes. How simply marvelous of you to uncover the secret hiding place in just one day.
Wasn't it supposed to take 30 minutes? As I believe I told you, my dear fellows, skin prints are extremely useful in such situations. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Gridson?
Gregsy's been happy munching in his agreement this whole time, you know, Hurley. Happily, I think perhaps humorlessly might be closer to the truth.
So, it transpired the man fashioned a hiding place in the ceiling. And what's in it? What exactly is the loot? Let us look then, if you're ready. Let's examine the late burglar's hole. What is that? Maybe I'll just upload this pure, yeah? Because I did go to the bathroom just now. I'll just upload it pure. Yeah, let's go for it. It looks to be some sort of neckband or collar. A collar? It's huge though. Wait, that was the Susato, wasn't it?
And look at all the gemstones set in it. I can see why it was claimed to be worth £1,000. Perhaps I could have it as a belt. Oh, have you noticed it on the inside there? There are some dark stains.
You don't think there could be blood, do you? I mean, there's quite a lot of it. Maybe it's dog's blood. It looks like a dog's collar, man.
On second thoughts, perhaps I won't have it as a belt.
Indeed.
Then of course, there's this emblem here. A large letter B, a small crown.
What does it signify, do you think?
Oh, I had noticed that. I feel as though I've seen the emblem somewhere before. You know, where could it have been?
That's enough of that, I think. What? What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes? All the colors has drained from his face.
Well, Inspector, I believe you ought to be taking this. Ought you? I believe you ought to be taking this. Oughtn't you? How do you pronounce that? It could be valuable evidence after all. It must be kept safely under lock and key. Ah, yes. Get your grubby hands off that, you lot, and hand it over now! Ooh. I'd never seen a collar that large before. And all those jewels certainly looked to be extremely valuable. But that's not what stood out the most to me. At least, not once I'd noticed it. Those dark marks on the inside of the collar. Those stains. Excuse me, my nose. Oh. Could they really have been blood?
Well, that was a funny case, wasn't it? But it's all buttoned up now.
And you look very pleased, Iris.
I am, because I was starting to wonder what I could use as the base of this month's story in the magazine. But this case will be perfect. It's so fascinating. Fascinating.
You're talking about the latest installment of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I presume.
The mystery of the knife in the mist. And the mustache man and the convict's curse, perhaps. I could make it a two-part story. Oh, I can't wait.
A word, please, Iris.
Yes, what is it, Hurley?
I'm sorry, but you can't write about this case. It's out of the question.
What? Why not? It's a great case.
Then I shall have to insist that you limit yourself to the first of the two titles. The second must never be written. Is that clear?
Yes.
Poor Iris.
And so it was that the second of Seki-san's cases became buried in obscurity. Now, looking back, I feel I understand. I can see why Mr. Sholmes forbade Iris from publishing the story. It would take a little longer before I saw the link between everything that had happened and would happen.
My biggest question is, why the voice acting now?
For it wasn't
why not
until
the whole
2
game?
months after the arrival of Susato-san's letter that events began to unfurl again. With an incident that took place at the very heart of the eagerly awaited Great Exhibition of London.
Oh, it's actually this Thursday. Holy shit. Right. End. Alright. That's the end of this stream, I believe. I mean, this recording. Nah, bruh. Oh, you know what? Alright, you know what? That's gonna end this stream. I mean, this recording. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you're watching. Well, I can't wait. See you, everyone. Love you. Wait, is it this one? Yeah. All right, see ya.